Dear students, in this module we will talk about the government's decisions influencing the family planning. Through this module we will try to get understanding about various aspects related to family planning and fertility. To start with, we will have a look at the decline in trends in fertility worldwide, and then the enabling environment that facilitated the decline in fertility. Then we move to the kind of direct and indirect support provided by the respective governments for family planning programs in their countries. Then we move to the legal grounds for abortion. Let us start with decline in fertility. There has been rapid decline in fertility in many of the developing countries as well, starting from 1970s, and we can also see that persistent below replacement fertility levels have been noticed in developed countries, and the kind of fertility decline in developing countries and below replacement fertility levels in developed countries, these are unmatched in the history of human beings. Let us try to look at the kind of environment that facilitated this kind of fertility decline in both developing as well as developed countries. There has been rapid technological innovation, and also there was a change in the society in terms of attitudes, perceptions and knowledge. There is also increase in availability of effective contraceptive methods, besides enhanced access to the contraceptive methods. Thus, this kind of environment, which was critical in reducing fertility and improving reproductive and child health status, was very helpful in achieving the decline in fertility levels across various countries. Having information and access to safe and effective methods of family planning can be considered as part of reproductive rights of the woman. Most of the governments are involved directly or indirectly to support the family planning program in their respective countries. Let us try to understand the kind of direct support that is provided by the governments to family planning program. This includes provision of information on family planning methods, providing guidance and supplies through the government run facilities or outlets. The government run outlets include hospitals, clinics, health posts, health centers and the government field workers who are the outreach workers at the grassroots level. Let us look at the kind of support provided by the governments towards family planning, and then what is the extent of provision of support across the governments in the world. In 2013, out of 197 governments, 160, that is in the year 2013, out of 197 governments, 160 accounting for 80%, that means 4 out of 5 countries provided direct support to family planning, and this figure was 63% in 1976. So, there is an increase from 63% in 1976 to 81% in 2013, and in 20 countries the governments provided indirect support for family planning through private sector, including non-governmental organizations, whereas the remaining 17 governments did not support family planning programs. Let us look at the support provided by the governments in less developed countries. In these less developed regions, the percentage of governments providing direct support for family planning increased from 64% in 76 to 93% in 2013. On the other hand, in case of the least developed countries, this increase was from 43% to 98%. That means almost all the countries in the least developed category have been providing support to family planning directly. Let us look at the scenario in more developed regions. The percentage of governments providing direct support declined from 62% in 1978 to 38% in 2005, and later on it increased to 45% in 2013. Thus, we can conclude that in 2013 governments in less developed regions are more than twice as likely as those in the more developed regions to provide direct support to family planning. Let us look at the figure 1, which talks about the support, direct support provided by the governments for family planning programs, and this has been categorized and presented by level of development, and this chart gives the trend from 1976 to 2013. If we look at the more developed regions, in 1976 62% of the countries were providing direct support for family planning, and it reduced over a period of time and it reached 45% in 2013. Of course, from 2005 to 2013 there has been an increase from 38% to 45%. On the other hand, if we look at the less developed regions, there has been consistent increase in the extent of support provided by the governments to family planning programs. To start with, it was 64% in 1976 and it went up to 93% in case of 2013. This figure 2 tells us about the government's policies to influence the level of fertility during 1976 and 2013. This is from the UN publication of 2013. The first panel gives us information about the governments with policies to raise the fertility. The indication is that from 1976 the percentage of governments with policies to enhance the fertility level moved from 21% to 69%. And on the other hand, the right side panel tells us about the policies of the governments to reduce the fertility levels. It increased not so substantially, but to some extent from 34% in 1976 to 57% in 2013. If you look at the trend between 96 and 2013, not much of difference can be noticed in terms of the government's effort policies to reduce the fertility level. Let us look at the table 1. It talks about the governments providing direct and indirect support for family planning and categorized by level of development, namely more developed regions, less developed regions and least developed countries, and then the time reference period for us from 1976 to 2013. This table gives two measures: number of countries that provided direct support, indirect support, no support, and then last column tells us about number of countries not permitted family planning. The table also gives us the percentage figures for various categories as we just discussed. Across the world from 96 to 2013, the countries in terms of proportions providing direct support to family planning increased from 63 to 81%. In case of indirect support, it remained almost same, 11% in 76 and 10% in 2013. And in case of more developed regions, there is decline, as we have seen in the previous charts, 62 to 45%, and indirect support increased from 18% to 31%, and no support, governments providing no support, the percentage in this case increased from 12% to 22%. On the other hand, we see an increase in the percentage of governments from the less developed regions as well as least developed countries providing direct support. Table 3 gives the same information, analysis of the same data by different major areas such as Africa, Asia and Europe. In Africa, the percentage of countries providing direct support and got enhanced from 50% to 96% between 76 and 2013. In case of Asia, the increase was from 68% in 1976 to 83% in 2013. In case of Europe, there has been decline in the percentage of countries providing direct support from 59% in 1976 to 45% in 2013. Table 4 gives the same analysis for rest of the regions like Latin America and Caribbean, North America and Oceania. In case of Latin America and Caribbean, there has been increase from 78% to 97%. In case of Oceania, there has been increase from 86 to 94%. Now, let us try to get some understanding about the support to family planning by the governments from more developed regions. In the more developed regions, decline in proportion of governments providing direct support for family planning has been observed. And then what would be the reasons for this? This could be in response to the persistent low fertility levels of the population in these countries, or this could be an acknowledgement that private sector could meet the demand for contraception irrespective of intervention from the government, or it could also be direct government support or subsidies may be felt to be not so necessary. These could be the reasons for the kind of support we see in case of more developed regions in terms of some kind of decline in the more developed regions. Continuing on that, increase in proportion of government support in family planning in recent years from the more developed regions also indicates that there is growth in efforts to raise fertility in many of these countries. In 2013, 9 out of 10 governments in Latin America, the Caribbean, Africa and Oceania provided direct support to family planning. Almost all, majority of the countries have been providing direct support to family planning in these countries. Let us look at the scenario in Europe and Africa. Less than half of the governments supported family planning in Europe. On the other hand, in Africa, only one country did not support family planning, and in 1976, 17 countries of African region were not providing any direct support to family planning. It came down to just one country. This indicates that there has been significant change in the perception of the governments in African region. And in 1976, 3 countries were not permitting family planning at all. The analysis also indicates that some of the countries which were previously pro-natalist governments and in the past they wanted to maintain or even sometimes increase the population growth rates. Now they have modified their stance and they have accepted family planning programs as integral components of maternal and child health program. This is a positive development when we are talking about the population control policies and family planning promotion policies. If we look at the countries which have changed the policies related to family planning in their countries, these countries include Cambodia, Cameroon, the Laos and People's Republic. The countries that have changed their policy related to family planning include Cambodia, Cameroon, the Laos People's Democratic Republic, Oman and UAE. Let us now talk about another dimension of family planning, which is a major concern in many of the countries, that is the unmet need. There is widespread and increasing support from the governments to family planning programs. As a result of that, there has been increase in contraceptive use in many of the countries, even in less developed regions, and these kind of developments led to decline in unmet need for family planning. Let us just recall the definition of unmet need for family planning. By unmet need, we mean the percentage of women 15 to 49 years, married or in union, who report desire to delay or avoid pregnancy, but they are not using any form of contraception. This unmet need has declined from 15% in 1990 to 12% in 2013. In 2013, 144 million married or in union women of reproductive age 15 to 49 years across the world were estimated to have an unmet need for family planning, and number of women with an unmet need for family planning, the figure would increase to 218 million if the women using traditional contraceptive methods are also included. So, the unmet need estimates ranged between 144 million to and 218 million. Let us now talk about induced abortions. In 2018, an estimated 44 million induced abortions took place in the world. 6 million of these happened in developed countries, while 38 million happened in developing countries. Of all these induced abortions, about half were carried out using unsafe procedures, according to the research reports available. And then another major concern is about the deaths due to abortion. The global estimates indicate that 47,000 women die every year due to complications associated with unsafe abortions, and most of these deaths can be prevented. They are preventable through better access to sexuality education, contraceptive information and supplies, and safe abortion services should be allowed by the law. And then let us look at the policy interventions related to abortion from various governments. We have seen the seriousness of the problem relating to abortions in view of ever increasing incidence of induced abortion, and also very disturbing trend of unfortunate death of women due to complications during the abortion process. Between 1996 and 2013, percentage of governments permitting abortion to save a woman's life remained at about 97%. So, by and large, the governments are in favor of induced abortion to save the life of a woman, and In case of about 63 to 67% of the governments, the abortion laws were in favor of abortion to preserve physical health of the woman, and there has been increase between 96 and 2013. Continuing on this, the proportion of governments allowing abortion has increased from 52% to 64%, and this is in case of preserving mental health of the woman, and in case of rape related pregnancies there has been an increase from 43 to 52%, and in case of issues related to the fetus the increase is from 41% to 52%. Let us examine the legal grounds for abortion. The proportion of governments permitting abortion for economic and social reasons or on request increased during 1996 and 2013. The statistics indicate that in 2013, 36% of the governments permitted abortion for economic and social reasons. This figure was 31% in 1996, and abortion on the basis of request was allowed in about 30% of the governments. This again an increase from 24% in 1996, and more countries have liberalized their abortion policies since 1996, and in about 2/3 of the countries abortion was permitted only when physical or mental health of the mother was in danger. In half of the countries abortion is permitted only when pregnancy is resulted from rape or any other fetal related issues, and then the abortion policies vary by geographic region. For instance, in 2013 abortion policies were most restrictive in Oceania, followed by Africa and Latin America and the Caribbean as well. 6% of the governments in Oceania and Africa and 12% in Latin America and the Caribbean allowed abortion only on request. The legal grounds for abortion need to be looked at. So, 18 countries in Africa, 12 in Asia, 8 in Latin America and the Caribbean and 8 in Oceania allowed abortion only to save a woman's life. Europe and North America had most liberal abortion policies, and in the Northern America both the governments allowed abortion on request. In Europe 73% of the governments allowed abortion on request. Now, let us look at figure 3 that tells us about the legal grounds on which abortion is permitted. The figures are presented in percentage of countries. As we can see, permitting abortion to save a woman's life, it is almost universal, 97, 98, 97%, even from 1996. So, always from 1996 to 2013 it remained almost 96 to 97%. And then the second reason for permitting abortion on legal grounds pertains to preserving a woman's physical health. This again ranged between 63 to 67%, and the third reason relates to preserving a woman's mental health. This varied from 52 to 64%, vice versa. And then the figure 4 gives the same analysis by percentage of world population. That means almost all the world population is covered by the policy of permitting abortion to save a woman's life, whereas in case of other reasons the proportion of world population covered by the policy varies from about 70% to 80% in case of region 2 and region 3, and even region 4 in case of rape, and the figures are much smaller in case of allowing abortion on the request made. Now, let us move to figure 5. The chart gives the results by level of development, namely we have the information for more developed regions and less developed regions. In case of region 1, the legal ground 1, to save a woman's life, hardly any difference can be seen between more developed and less developed regions. In case of the second legal ground, namely preserving a woman's physical health, there is substantial difference between the two regions, 61% versus 88%. Same is the case in case of preserving a woman's mental health, 57 and 86%. Same holds good for remaining all the legal grounds. In case of rape, it ranges from 40% to 86%. In case of fetal related issues, it ranged between 41% and 86%, and for economic and social reasons, it ranged from 20% to 82%, and the last legal ground on the basis of request made, it ranged from 16% to 71%. This chart again indicates, as we discussed few minutes back, that the more developed regions seem to be more liberal in terms of the abortion policies. The same information is provided here in this table 5 in terms of number of countries by various legal grounds that are permitted abortion, and then table 6 gives the legal grounds on which abortion is permitted by the respective countries, categorized by level of development, the more developed regions, less developed regions, and least developed countries. And then we can also see the trend from 1996 to 2013. And in case of table 7, we will have the information about the legal grounds on which abortion is permitted by various major regions like Africa, Asia, Europe, etc. And then table 8 gives the percentage of countries on the basis of legal grounds on which abortion is permitted. And then this table 9 talks about, or rather lists out the countries that have liberalized or restricted. Two categories are there: legal grounds on which abortion is permitted between 1996 and 2013. So, we have the countries that have liberalized the legal grounds. We also have the countries that have restricted the legal grounds on which abortion is permitted. And to save a woman's life, we have Nicaragua has a restricted policy in case of saving a woman's life. In case of the second factor, preserving a woman's physical health, many countries have liberalized their policies during 1996 and 2013, whereas we have about Congo, Iraq, they have restricted the abortion laws in case of preserving a woman's physical health. The third reason that relates to preserving a woman's mental health, many countries including Bhutan, Bolivia, Cameroon, Colombia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, Nepal, UAE, Uruguay, Thailand, Morocco, all these countries have liberalized the abortion policies. On the other hand, Iraq, Japan, they have restricted abortion related policies in case of preserving a woman's mental health. In case of rape, the liberalization of abortion policies was reported by many countries. Particularly, they have changed their policies and made the policies more liberal during 1996 and 2013. Same is the situation for other legal grounds as well. So far, we discussed about various policy initiatives from the respective governments, from more developed regions, less developed regions, and the least developed regions with regard to family planning and abortion. Let us now summarize the discussion we had so far, and then what are the key messages that are emerging from this module from the learning point of view. We have seen an increase in direct support to family planning in all the regions, and then most of the countries are providing direct or indirect support to family planning, and the governments in less developed regions seem to be more likely to provide support to family planning programs. In the more developed region, efforts are on to enhance the fertility levels because of the below replacement fertility levels. There has been decline in unmet need. In spite of that, 144 to 218 million women reportedly have unmet need for family planning. As regards the induced abortions, the estimates as on 2008 indicate that 44 million induced abortions were taking place, and unfortunately we also have about 44,000 deaths estimated to be happening because of complications relating to induced abortions. As regards the liberalization of the abortion policies, the results are encouraging because more and more governments have started liberalizing their abortion policies, permitting abortions on the basis of several factors such as health of the physical as well as mental health of the woman and other issues. And then of course, the legal grounds for abortion vary from country to country, from region to region, and the global fertility trends indicate significant decline in fertility in many of the countries, including the less developed and the least developed regions. In case of the more developed regions, the decline in fertility trend is a cause of concern. So, these governments are in favor of enhancing the fertility rate and enhancing the population growth in those countries. On the other hand, the less developed and least developed regions, the governments there in the less developed and least developed regions are trying to reduce the fertility through direct and indirect support to family planning programs. So, this is all we have learnt in this module. We got a fair understanding about the kind of policy initiatives that are there in developed as well as less developed and least developed countries towards family planning and abortion in response to the change in fertility and the patterns that are emerging from the population growth in the respective countries. Thank you.